Hey guys, welcome back to some more Broken Sword, the Shadow of the Templars. We're here in Ireland, of course, still, and oh boy, last episode, Mr. Fitzgerald himself took a bit of a tumble. Well, I say a tumble, the guy straight up got run over. Maguire says it was by a big red sports car, so we can only assume it was like a Ferrari or something like that. And yeah, he may possibly have dropped the package somewhere. We don't know if that's the case, but now that we have spoken to Maguire and we know that Fitzy's been run over, let's head back into the bar and have a chat with some people again. Let's see what new stuff they've got to talk about.
Hey! Hello there again, mister. What do you know about leprechauns, Doyle? Leprechauns? Is it the little people
The
you're
little
talking
people.
about? Sure, and a cousin of mine was wed to one. Oh, come on. Do you really expect me to believe that? It's the truth, I'm telling you. She fell asleep on a fairy ring, see? When she woke up, there he was. A little fella, all in green.
So he was one of the little people.
Tell me more about your cousin and the leprechaun.
Oh, no.
Well, young Mary was speechless.
Oops.
Especially when
Sorry
the
about that, guys.
leprechaun up and spoke to her. Be my bride, me darling, says he, and she'll never want for riches again. Okay, says she, and he slips a ring of daisies on her finger.
Amen.
So there you are. Proof that the little people exist.
Well, that's no proof. All you have is her word for it.
Not so. The following spring, she had a little baby.
And he was definitely one of the little people. What has this got to do with what's just happened?
Did the leprechaun's promise come true?
What promise was that now?
That she'd never want for riches again.
Now, there's the strangest thing. She never did.
I thought you said she was claiming the social part.
Indeed, Mr. O'Brien, but there's riches and riches. She told me, Pat, she says, that little darling boy is all the riches in the world to me.
I don't know if I can take this guy seriously. Yeah, so I'm hoping that we
Bye for now.
can get Ireland finished today. We'll see, though. This might be the final time in
Excuse
Ireland.
me, Mr. O'Brien.
Hello there. What now?
The boy told me Fitzgerald was driven away in the car that hit him.
Maguire is always spinning wild yarns. I don't know where he gets them from. Television, I expect, or comics. If I was you, I'd take what he says with a generous pinch of salt.
Yeah, but we heard the car screech around the corner. Did you not? You're like right by the window. Surely you would have seen it.
McGuire's tale about the car sounds quite plausible to me.
Yeah.
He says the driver was dressed like a leprechaun.
That boy has a head full of fluffy toys.
No one's going to believe it.
Goodbye for now.
Mr. Leary, what about you?
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Oh, that's just to get another drink, isn't it?
I don't want anything.
Just give me a shout when you do.
Oh, wait, no.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
We need to ask for another beer, because I'm pretty sure his machine breaks down.
Hey, how about another drink?
See him again?
Do you serve cocktails?
I'll serve anyone with manners and money.
You know, I'm serious. Have you considered turning McDevitt's into a cocktail bar? Cocktails are chic, cool, and popular with younger drinkers.
What? Kids in the bar? Can you imagine it? Pinball, pimples, and puke.
All right, I get the
Yeah,
picture.
maybe not.
I'll settle for a glass of stout.
Ah, okay. Okay, that's not the case yet then. So his machine still works.
Thanks.
Oh, well, we might as well drink it. Don't let it go to waste. Yeah, So I'm pretty sure the guy who's sneezing, we don't really need to speak to him anymore. Right, well, let's head back out then. See if Maguire's got anything else to say. If he doesn't, we'll go back to the guy who's by the haystack, because we haven't spoken to him for a while. But also, if you notice, the covers come off.
I pushed the switch down, but in doing so it snapped off in my hand.
Ah, now I believe we can go... Alright, so now we can go back and order another beer. And now the machine should break. I believe. So this should be our way to progress. And I believe we can pick this up. Yeah, look. We'll do that in a second.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir?
Okay, now we want to ask for another one.
Give me another beer, dude. Give everyone another beer. Let's party, guys.
I think you've had enough, don't you?
Hey, listen. Is it supposed to taste the way it does?
Gopaline stout is brewed from the finest chemicals in the world. I'm sorry, but the pump appears to be broken.
I could fix it for you.
I don't think so. This is a job for a professional electrician. Oh well, at least the glass washer is still working. It's not my dear, is it?
A professional electrician, huh? Well, it so happens that old Thomas Merlin here.
It just so happens I'm an electrician. Check out my credentials.
Well, no. Isn't that marvelous? Here's a house bedeviled with faulty wiring of a wayward nature. Here's you, an electric man, with a little plastic card to prove it.
There you go.
I still want to see what you can do before I let you touch me beer pumps. You can make a start on the glass washer.
Okay. I'm pretty sure this is where the wire comes in handy. Okay.
And when you finish that, will you take a look at the pumps?
Absolutely. Well, I want this cloth, but Doyle's got his hand over it. I think it's when he raises his hand. Like so.
As the man raised his arm to drink, I snatched the towel away.
Nice. Right, so I believe we use our trusty piece of wire that's not ours on this. And this should fix the washer, I believe.
I replaced the fuse with a piece of wire. I knew it was dangerous, but I was desperate enough to disregard everything I knew about standard safety precautions. Excuse me, Mr. Leary. I fixed your glass washer, no problem.
Bingo! And a blessing to all the saints. A free half pint to that man, on the house.
Yeah.
Now, could you take a look at the beer pumps?
Well, I guess so, but I'm not making any promises.
If you can't fix them, I'll have a riot on me hands.
The pumps are in the cellar, right?
That's right. You'll find a flashlight down there somewhere.
Okay. Right, before we do that, we are now going to go and speak to the guy at the haystack. Because I believe we got some... Well, yeah. As well as this helping us to progress, this should help us progress as well. So, we're going to do that. Let's go and speak to him. Hey, bud, we ain't seen you for a while.
Hi, it's me again.
So I see. What now?
Have you seen Professor Pegram?
No, he's packed up and gone.
Do you happen to know where?
Back in England, I suppose.
Do you think Pegram's disappearance is due to the curse?
Look at the facts. He dug up the gem. He disappeared. Bingo. It doesn't take a degree in mathematics to work that one out, does it? You don't have to be a smarty Pythagoras with a calculator.
I guess not.
Pegram has run off with the gem.
Has he though? And what curse? Since when's there been a curse?
Did you happen to see a red sports car down on the road?
I caught a glimpse of a flash of red on the hill and heard the racket. Sure, it was an awful noise. A sports car, you say?
A Ferrari, to be exact.
Oh, there we
A
go.
racing car. And what was it doing here? The poor fella must have been lost.
The driver of the Ferrari was involved in an accident.
Is that so?
Yeah, he knocked somebody down outside the bar.
What an idiot. How could a thing like that happen?
He was traveling too fast.
So fast, he ran right under the car?
No.
I mean, the car was
Yeah.
traveling too fast.
But you'd have thought the idiot could have heard it coming.
No, I think it was deliberate.
Maybe you know the guy who was hit by the Ferrari. His name is Sean Fitzgerald.
Oh, I know him all right. That's me nephew, the idiot responsible for the stacking of my hay cart.
Ah.
Was he killed by the car?
Oh no, but he has been abducted.
Well, that's a relief now.
What? A relief? That's your nephew.
Aren't you going to look for your nephew?
What for? From what you say, it's too late.
Well, you could report the matter to the police.
Better not. Besides, what could they do?
Well, they could mount a search.
They have only the one bicycle between them. In a question of superior acceleration, I put me money on the Ferrari.
Okay.
I think you ought to know exactly what Sean has gotten himself into.
Yep.
I'm not sure I want to know.
But you're his uncle, his own flesh and blood.
You're right, but what can I do? If I'm not here to guard it, some idiot might try to climb the haystack. What a moral dilemma.
Totally not me.
Stay here and guard this potentially lethal agricultural construction, or to go off in search of the prodigal nephew, the very man responsible for said hazard? It'll need some thinking about.
Why, there's no problem.
You're right. Why didn't I think of it before? We'll demolish the haystack.
That's not what we meant.
You don't have to demolish the haystack to go look for Sean. I'll stay here in your place and warn anyone who's silly enough to climb it.
Marvelous. I think I should start me inquiries in the bar.
I mean, he's pretty dumb considering we said that we wanted to climb it already. And he's like, yeah, sure, you look
He
after
strode
it.
off in the direction of McDevitt's bar, leaving me to contemplate the stack of hay.
Okay, yeah. So before we do go back to McDevitt's bar, because we are going to need to, we're going to be climbing this bad boy. Damn, this is tall. Just tall enough for us to get in the castle.
The stack of hay stopped, short of the top of the wall. Even if I stretched as far as I could, the wall was out of reach. What I needed was a slice or two of Alice's Wonderland.
Okay, so there's a little gap here in the wall. So what we're going to do, good old trusty T-shaped tool that manages to fit in
I
Ginger's
inserted
pocket.
the end of the lifting key in the mortarless crack and gave it a firm shove. It remained lodged in the wall, jutting out to form a step.
All right, then. Is this the ghost? The ghost of Lockman? Oh no. Okay, so what we do have to do here is we have to try and walk towards the goat and it's going to ram us. Like so. Then we want to double click this and George should run towards it. Which this, by the way, took absolutely ages to figure out. Because I could never figure out that, I never knew that George
The
could
rope
run.
by which the goat was tethered had become tangled on the old plowshare.
So, honestly, this might have even taken like at least a couple of days before I'd even figured out what we had to do next. I was up and down this castle, back in the bar, like what the hell do I have to do to get past this goat? But there we go. That's the solution. All right. So this is obviously where they were digging then, I believe. yeah, looks like it. So this is what Pegram had shut down. What do we have here?
The bench had probably been used by Pegram and his archaeological team.
Yeah, I would have thought so. Something we can grab here. Oh, feely feely.
As I dipped my fingers into the soft white powder, I realized what it was. Plaster of Paris.
Oh.
I'd used it in kindergarten to make casts of animal paw prints.
Cool, so we got some plaster of Paris. There it is.
It was a handful of plaster left in the castle by Pegram's archaeology team.
Okay. So what do we have here?
There was a pattern of 5 holes arranged on the wall. They'd been drilled there deliberately.
Okay, let's go and have a look.
I placed my fingers and thumb into the holes in the wall. Nothing happened.
Okay. We have a statue of some sort.
It was a statue which had fallen from its place on the wall.
Okay.
5 fingers of stone projected from the back of the carving.
Can we move it, maybe? We can push it over.
The statue was too heavy to lift. It overbalanced into the sand.
Okay. Can we lift it again? Ah.
As I swung the stone upright, I noticed it had left a pattern of holes in the sand.
Right, so what we want to do, ladies and gents, is we want to take our plaster of Paris, well, some of it anyway. We want to sprinkle that in the hole.
I sprinkled the plaster on the sand until the holes were filled.
Right, now we want to go back to the bar, but I might cut that out and meet you guys back there because it's a bit of a journey. So I'll see you guys in just a sec. Okay, we are back in McDevitt's bar, and we can now go back. We haven't been there yet. We can now go into the cellar, which is what we're gonna do. So Mr. O'Leary wants us to oh my God, can I talk? Fix his beer pumps, of course. That was the sole reason we were coming down here anyway.
What a dumb place to store a flashlight. A dark cellar. The only way I was going to find anything down there was to feel around.
Okay, there's a switch here.
I pushed the lever and heard the grating of metal, but nothing appeared to happen.
Ah, so maybe that's the cellar doors above. So we'll go open those up. And that should bring in some light, I would have thought. Which should be lovely for us. Just what we need. Yeah, who needs a flashlight? We need a flashlight. Alright. Okay, yeah, so now these should lift up.
I lifted the trap door and an overpowering smell of stale beer rose from the cellar below. I looked down on a stone-tiled floor, way too far to jump.
Oh, crap.
Excuse me.
There was a nasty feeling in my guts I usually associated with light opera.
Oh, yeah.
It was Khan. What's the problem?
Did you see what happened here a few minutes ago?
What was that?
A man was involved in an unfortunate accident.
I didn't see anything.
What about the boy?
He doesn't know anything either. The kid, well, you know how it is in these rural communities. Not enough genes to go round. I prayed McGuire had the sense to keep his mouth shut.
Shut up, McGuire.
Was the guy hurt bad?
He's been taken care of, but he thinks he dropped a small parcel. You didn't happen to find it, did you?
If I had, I would have taken it to the police.
Of course. Thank you.
Dude. God damn, that was close.
It wasn't my nerves that stopped me jumping. It was my damned legs. They wouldn't move.
No one's surprised after seeing him. Alright, well, let's knock that let's not that. Well, English. Let's not let that stop our progression. We have stuff to do. We want to get into that dig. Well, we've got into the dig, but we want to find out what it is that Pegram was so shocked about. And why he shut it down. Why did he shut the dig down? There we go. Flashlight.
Then I noticed a flash
Oh.
of light. Something sparkling beneath the open trapdoor.
Is that what I think that is?
It was Pegram's gem, all right.
Hey.
A large, uncut blue stone. As I held it aloft, I realized the fascination it could command. I guess I was already under its spell.
Yep, no,
Did you find it?
What?
Whatever you was looking for.
Yeah. Listen, McGuire, I want you to keep this to yourself.
No problemo. Just chuck us up a crate of lager.
No way, you're not old enough.
We can sell it and make some cash.
Forget it, kid. I couldn't betray Mr. Leary's trust.
I could, for sure. That old misery guts deserves it.
If you want to do me a favor, keep a lookout for that guy in the suit.
Okay. But it'll cost you a packet of chips.
Oh, and shout if you see that Ferrari.
Yeah. Yeah, so we now have the gem. So it Fitzgerald did drop it. It fell down the trapdoor and into the cellar. So, well, I suppose that is a good thing that we now have it.
It was a couple of paper sacks filled with trash.
Nothing in there of
I
interest?
searched the trash, but there was nothing useful there.
Okay. Right, so what we want to do now is we want to turn this tap on for a start.
The faucet creaked, coughed, and spewed out a stream of rusty-colored water.
Lovely. Right, what we want to do is we want to soak our cloth, beer cloth.
I held the towel under the faucet and soaked it with water.
Okay, quickly turn that off.
I shut off the faucet as tight as I could, but it kept on dripping.
Because you can flood the sewer, I think. The sewer? Oh my god, the cellar. Alright, so now we want to haul ass and we want to get back to the dig place. Because if you... A real thing in this, if you're too slow and you get all the way up to the top, the beer cloth can actually dry out. And you have to come all the way back down again, so... We want to get back up there as quick as we can. Well, as quick as George will go, anyway. Alright, back up the haystack. So yeah, we have the gem now. So that's why Khan was looking for it. That's why Khan came back. Alright. Let's jump back in. Back down the hole. See, it's a shame that George can't run all the time. It's literally just for that section. Like, even if you try double clicking, he wouldn't run. Sucks. Right, okay, now we want to use this on here.
The trickle of water was quickly absorbed by the plaster.
Okay, so now we should be able to pick it up.
I eased the solid piece of plaster from the sand. Underneath, it had formed a perfect copy of the statue.
And then, boop.
The hardened plaster cast fitted snugly into the 5 matching sockets. There was a soft thud, then silence.
Oh. It's opening up. Let's go down. And yeah, we have the flashlights. That's handy. More façon. Back in Nico's apartment. So that's the end of Island, guys.
So, where did you stay last night?
At McDevitt's. I got to drinking with Doyle and a couple of the guys.
That explains why you look so ill today. Did you get any sleep at all?
Not much. I had to share the room with another guy.
Did he snore?
Hardly. He was dead,
Oh, God.
And you say Pigram has disappeared?
without a trace. But my visit wasn't a complete waste of time.
Look what we got.
Pigram's gem?
The Templars gem. Whoever Jacques Marquet is, he's in for a disappointment.
Jacques Marquet?
He's the guy who should have collected the gem from Fitzgerald.
I've been reading about Pigram in this magazine.
Okay. Let's have a read.
The media got its claws on him.
Yeah, if I was his agent, I'd get him to lose the pipe.
That dig must have been pretty important to him. He resigned his chair at Durham University to go to Ireland. And now he's disappeared.
Interesting. So sudden as well, so quickly.
See what you can find out about Professor Pegram.
I'll speak to the university. What are your plans?
I want to find out who, what, or where Montfaucon was. All I've got to go by is the name and a picture of a hanged man.
Yeah, that is true.
What do you know about Professor Pegram?
I've seen a television program, Pigram's Past. He's written a book, The Crusader Families of Ireland.
Oh.
Do you want to look after the gem?
No, Georges. I'd be too tempted to sell it.
What else have we got to show Nico? Plaster of Paris.
Look, Nico, a handful of plaster.
Yeah. Why is it that men never really grow up?
What's your problem, sister?
Your pockets stuffed with useless junk
This is
like little boys.
This is true.
You never know when useless junk might come in handy.
And it has so far. Let's have another look at the manuscript.
Let's take another look at the manuscript.
Okay.
That's the tripod in the Croon Museum. That's the gem that Pegram found in Lochmarn. There's a woman looking at her reflection in a mirror, but the reflection has 3 hideous faces. The Night Scroll bears a phrase in Latin. Through my teachings, you will be enlightened.
Okay.
There's a guy working on a loom. There's a guy with a sword and a bull. Between them is a gem supported by a tripod.
Which we have 2 of those things. Alright, so I believe at this point we have, I think, see, this is where my memory goes hazy. I know certain places we go in this game, but I can't remember in what order they are. But I think at this point we have to go back to the museum. So let's see what George says.
I can't sit here all day, much as I'd like to.
Okay. Don't forget to look for Lopinot at the Croon Museum. And why don't you see if Rosso has heard anything?
Okay. Anything else I can do for you while I'm out? Shopping, a trip to the laundromat?
Just take care of yourself.
Can you imagine if George did that? We just had an episode where George just goes shopping for Nico. Just does some chores. Alright guys, so we're back in Paris. That was Ireland. I hope you guys enjoyed Ireland while it lasted. Again, it's one of my favourite places in this game. But there's many more to come. But for now, we're going to leave this episode here. We will go to the Croon Museum in the next episode. See if Lobino is actually there this time. And see what we can find out. But until then, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. If you did, please drop a like on this video. I would appreciate that greatly. And if you're not subscribed, you can do that today. It's free. Why not go ahead and do that? But until then, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, guys. See ya.